Life has taught me many lessons. Some have been beautiful, others painful. But if there's one decision I truly regret, it's moving into a nursing home. At the time, it seemed like the right choice. My family encouraged it, assuring me I'd be safe, comfortable, and cared for. I trusted them. I trusted the idea. But once I arrived, the reality was nothing like what I had imagined. Now, I know many of you might be facing this choice. Whether it's for yourself or someone you love, it may feel like the safest, easiest solution. But before you take that step, please, let me share 6 hard-earned truths I wish someone had told me before I moved in. Because life in a nursing home changes everything. And once you go in, getting out is much harder than you might think. Stay with me to the end. Some of these lessons might surprise you. And if you know someone considering this transition, this video could be exactly what they need before making a life-altering decision. Regret number 1, losing my independence. The biggest shock wasn't the small room, the shared schedules, or even the unfamiliar faces. It was waking up one morning and realizing I was no longer in control of my own life. At home, I had routines. I decided when to wake up, what to eat, and how to spend my day. I could step outside whenever I wanted, cook my favorite meal, or sit in silence with a book. That freedom was mine. But in the nursing home, everything followed their schedule. Breakfast at 8, whether you're hungry or not. Lights out, even if you're wide awake. Want to go outside? You need permission, and you'll wait until someone's available. Even basic choices, what to wear, what to eat, started to feel like privileges rather than rights. I remember sitting in my new room, reaching for a book I hadn't even packed myself, and thinking, this isn't my home. The little comforts that made life mine, gone, replaced by sterile walls and a system I had to adjust to. And that's the hardest part. Once you give up your independence, getting it back becomes nearly impossible. Ask yourself, are you prepared to trade the freedom you've always had for a schedule you didn't choose? Feeling forgotten. When I first moved in, my family promised they'd visit. And they did, at first. But slowly, the calls replaced the visits. Life got busy. Holidays came and went with empty promises. My grandkids had school. My children had work. And I was alone. It wasn't because they stopped loving me. It's just that when you're not part of their daily life anymore, it's easy for them to assume you're fine. Out of sight often becomes out of mind. I remember one evening, phone in hand, debating whether to call my son. I didn't want to sound needy. I didn't want to be a burden. So I put the phone down and sat in silence. That's when it hit me. This is what it feels like to be forgotten. So if you're considering this path, ask yourself, can you handle the quiet, the kind that lingers even in a room full of people? If you're still with me, comment number 2 below. Let me know you're here. Losing my sense of purpose. At home, even the smallest tasks gave me meaning. Making coffee, watering the plants, folding laundry. These weren't chores, they were reasons to keep moving. In the nursing home, those little rituals vanished. Meals were made for me. Cleaning was done. There were no plants to water, no things to fix. At first, it felt like a break, a chance to finally rest. But that rest quickly turned into emptiness. There was a man named George, a retired carpenter, always busy, always building something. Here, he had nothing to build. I watched his energy fade. His hands, one so skilled, sat idle in his lap. He once told me, I feel like I don't matter anymore. And I knew exactly what he meant. Purpose doesn't disappear overnight. It slowly slips away when you stop being needed. Ask yourself, what gives your life meaning? And will that still exist in a place where everything is done for you? My health declined faster than I expected. Before the move, I was doing fine. Not sprinting marathons, but I could walk, shop, and cook. I stayed active because I had to. Once I moved in, I didn't have to anymore. Meals appeared. Chores disappeared. I moved less. And slowly, my body noticed. Getting up became harder. My legs got stiff. I was sitting more, doing less. And the less I moved, the more I lost. I saw the same thing happen to others. Active people came in walking and ended up in wheelchairs. Why? Because when life becomes too convenient, the body forgets how to wait. If I could go back, I would have pushed myself to keep moving, no matter how easy it was to stop. If you're still with me, comment number 4 below and promise yourself you will fight to stay active. Regret number 5, losing privacy and dignity. In my home, I had space. I had silence. I had control. In the nursing home, privacy became a rare thing. Staff entered at all hours. Room checks, shared bathrooms, roommates I didn't choose. Even personal moments, dressing, bathing, using the bathroom, often required help. And while the staff was kind, needing help for everything, it's hard to accept when you've lived your whole life doing things yourself. Sometimes they knocked, sometimes they didn't. Sometimes they talked to me, other times it felt like they were talking at me. It chips away at you, slowly, until you don't feel like you anymore. Ask yourself, are you ready to give up that sense of self-control, even in the most private moments? It's harder to leave than you think. When I moved in, I told myself it was temporary. I could always leave. But the truth is, leaving is harder than getting in. My house? Left unattended. My kids? Already rearranged things. Some of my belongings? Given away or sold. And then there's the hardest part. I wasn't as strong as I used to be. Months of sitting, resting, and depending on others had taken a toll. I doubted myself. Could I really live alone again? Others around me felt the same. I thought I'd try it for a while. They'd say, but a while turned into forever. Ask yourself, if you change your mind, will it be too late? If you're still watching, comment number 6. Because this is the one regret I wish I'd understood before making that move. Final thoughts. I don't regret aging. I regret thinking that a nursing home was the only answer. It's not always bad. For some, it's necessary. But if I could go back, I'd have explored every option before giving up the life I loved. There are ways to get help at home, to stay safe without giving up your independence, privacy, and purpose. If you're facing this choice, take your time. Don't rush. Don't let fear make the decision for you. Ask yourself, is this truly what's best for me, or just what's easiest for everyone else? Because the life you have now, your routines, your comforts, your choices, are worth fighting for. If this video helped you, please like, share, and subscribe. Your support helps us reach more people who need to hear this. And in the comments below, tell me, what's one thing you learned today? Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you again in the next video.